Well, Prebz,
Pleasure, man.
welcome to Rents One of You podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I guess vice versa.
Good. I'm sat with Prebz, guys, in Humo,
Yes.
where we're filming a podcast today. And Prebz is his establishment. He owns a place, and thank you for having us.
Not at all.
Pleasure for having us. Lovely place
Appreciate
in
it.
Watford. But I want to get to know a bit about you. We've only just met each other today.
Yeah,
But I
literally.
want to get to know a little bit about
But to
you.
be honest, when you called me initially, day one, I thought your energy was right. You know,
Good.
Like, a
And
lot of
vice
peop-
versa.
Yeah,
And vice versa.
People call and you say, "Oh, it's another inquiry," but it
Yeah.
felt good. Like what we spoke over it. It was set up in 15 minutes.
Exactly.
And then messaged you 2 days ago to
Yeah,
get it going. And,
yeah, beat me to the punch. I was literally when I'm busy at work and I'm like, I gotta send a message and they're like, bing,
Yeah.
perfect.
There you go,
perfect.
man. Exactly. On the same vibe, I guess. Innit?
Exactly.
No, absolute pleasure, man. I'm
what
glad
I've
that the space worked for you.
Good. What I was gonna ask,
Yes.
do you mind? Obviously, I'm intrigued. We spoke briefly earlier. Amazing setup.
Appreciate
I'm a curious guy, so I'm always like, if I go somewhere and I like something, I want to know more about
Yeah.
it. So, should we go all the way from the beginning, or do you mind?
Yeah,
Or
of
do you-
course. Yeah.
So, okay, first of all, where you from?
Yeah.
Where did you grow up, and where your parents from?
Cool. So I was born here. My parents are Sri Lankan, Tamil. My dad came over in like 83 and my mum came over in 94. I was born 95.
Okay.
So my mum came over basically because they got married, and then my dad's been here since 83, working as basically just overnight, going to college in the daytime, all of that kind of stuff, and then got married, mum came over, and then they had me in 95.
Okay.
Went to school, all of the normal. I went uni as well. I went Notts for uni, did econ there. It was good, but it didn't really help in real life. It was basically all theory based.
Okay.
And then I met a few, as you are when you're children, when you're children growing up, teenagers, you meet a couple people, and I met 2 really good friends of mine. And then I came out of uni. Well, we were doing business during uni as well. All sorts. And then as soon as uni finished, a space came up. I was always into food. I started a YouTube channel when I was 16.
Nice.
Didn't really push on it, but we got a fair few views. One of my views back then, I think I'm talking 2016, 2017, did like 50K views.
Nice.
So then we were like, damn. But again, didn't stick to it. And then an opportunity came to open a small takeaway in Highbury in 2019. And we called it The Sauce. And it was basically like a fast casual burger place, but we did soft shell crab, we did prawns, we did chicken, grilled options, wicked, 14 different sauces to pick from. Basically like first movers at that time as well. And then that went really well. You know, COVID came just after, but everyone was moving on to takeaways and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So it was good, man. It was a really good time. And then we expanded to 2 other sites, Shoreditch and Southgate. And then I left that business in 2022, sorry. And then this space came up. This was going to be site number 4 for The Sauce.
Yeah.
But then when I was building it all out, it felt like we could do a lot more here. So then I met my head chef, I met the team, etc. And it's crazy. People say that people come across your life at the right times. Synchronicity, mate. Bro, 100%.
Big believer in
Because
that.
people looked at it, and then I just spoke to him. We came and tried our food at the other branch. And he was like, bro, this kind of place, we can make something serious happen. And I was like, okay, let's go then. Let's see how it plays. And then Humo was born. We had to create the name, the concept, the food and everything. So opened in December 22. And then, man, it's because it was a brand new concept. We're probably the largest independent in Watford. Everyone else around here is chains.
Yeah,
literally 8 out of 10 restaurants here are chains. So for us, it was like, we're going. But you know what it is? When we're doing something so different, people appreciate it. So our clientele, we get a lot of return custom. We keep the menu changing regularly as well. So and then here we are. It's been 2 full years. Going into year number 3 now. Slowly but surely building it up. It's been a tough couple years for hospitality. Energy prices through the roof. After Brexit and the formulation and finalization of Brexit, all the prices are through the roof. Labor now have increased NIC and minimum wages. So costs across the board are just going through the roof for hospitality. Pubs are closing down left, right, and centre. Restaurants are closing down left, right, and centre. 98% of restaurants fail in the UK.
That's crazy.
Crazy numbers, right? So then, look, firstly, I'm grateful for being here after 3 years. Means that we're doing something, right? And now it's just about continuing the growth. And maintaining it. People love the food. People love the vibe. They love the drinks. The space is cool.
The space is amazing.
They appreciate
The
it,
space
man.
is amazing.
So yeah, that's basically it. And then I work in a few other, because I guess it's just entrepreneurial, right? I work in, I guess, 2 other businesses as well. So
all the hospitality.
no, so hospitality is this. I do consultancy hospitality-wise as well for startups. I'm actually going into London after this. I've got a restaurant opening in Barbican. Today's their soft launch at 4 p.m. So I said I'll come in.
So what do you do is assist people, advise them on what they need to do?
Correct, yeah. Advising, assisting, providing supply chain connections, hopefully helping hire staff. That's one thing I do pretty well here. We get a good team in together. And just every question they need, because GPs are tough. I see why restaurants fail, because I am so tight on my numbers and still the margins are razor thin. So then when I look at other places that are in hospitality, honestly, I understand why places struggle. Because if you're not that stringent, it's a losing battle. But yeah, and then I work in a bit of property energy. So I procure energy for large scale commercial, so hospitals, data centers.
So what do you mean procure energy?
So we work with suppliers, so like your British Gases, your SSE, your Empowers, etc. So I have really good connections with them. So let's say, I don't know, a hospital came over to me and said, look, we've got 15 sites. We need to go green. We need to do this. We need to procure this level. We can't have any brown energy. So we'll create a full strategy for them and then buy the energy from the suppliers and then provide it to the customer. So it's almost like a brokering service, but we do like a larger scale.
Okay.
And then I play around with a bit of watches. I like my watch.
Okay, very nice.
So
very nice.
that's the last bit of it, man. So I enjoy that side of it as well.
So where you from?
Wembley.
Wembley.
Born and bred, man. Born and bred, Wembley.
Still in Wembley?
Still in Wembley now.
Nice.
Do you know what it is? I don't know where to move to. Because Wembley is just, because I go to work in London a lot, 20 minutes to Bond Street,
yeah.
20 minutes to here.
Logistically, you're in the right place.
It's bang in the centre, and then there's a lot of like warehouses. If I need to pick anything up, got Costco around the corner, you got Wing Yip around the corner, you got all of this. So it's just centrally based. But I don't know, London. Where are you based? Reading, yeah. I remember, yeah. How you moved out there, or you've been there all the time?
All the time. I've been there all the time. Yeah, I'm from there.
Oh shit! Yeah. How's Reading?
It's all right.
Yeah?
It's all right.
Quieter than...
Small city. Nah, it's a few boroughs of London. That's how you go look at it. Outside of London. So a few boroughs, just pick them up, and just put them over there.
And then put them over there.
You know what I mean? But then it should be a city.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it's very, very modern, very...
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you know what it is? Because London is just so expensive now, all the green belt and beyond are just where all the young people are moving to now.
Facts. Because you can get, it's under an hour.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour on the train.
Watford,
so if you're on a train,
Junction to Euston is 20 minutes on the train. 18 minutes.
Exactly.
No brainer. So people are moving here, so that pushes the price up here. London as a whole is just, I need to move country, man. That's the play. We need to move somewhere. I don't think London's good for business, to be honest.
No?
Nah.
Why not?
Government's anti-business here. It doesn't feel like they're pro-business. Rates, like for me, for example, here, every pound I make, 19% of that is your corp tax, regardless. I mean, off your profit, so it's not really 19%. But let's say our margins, EBIT margins are 10%. They're taking 19% of that. Then you've got rates, which is, again, a nightmare. We've got a bid levy here. Then NIC is 15%. We need to pay, I pay myself through the business as well, so I have to pay income tax on that. So it's tax. And then they're not making it any easier, there's no windfall tax.
I suppose you're right in what you're saying, because if we go like up north, for example, your overheads are going to be so much lower.
Your money goes a lot further.
But you're not far off the amount of money you're making anyway.
Correct.
So yeah, you're right.
But then you go look at other countries where, like Dubai, for example, that's what it's in everyone's mouth, right? I think that so far 11,000 millionaires have left here. Second largest exodus of millionaires in the world after China. So there's
to Dubai.
Dubai is a main one.
Leaving the country.
Leaving the country. Dubai is massive, don't get me wrong. But you've also got, like, people are moving to slower lives as well. They're moving to Portugal, they're moving to other parts of Europe. But that's a big exodus, man. And even people now that I know in business that are looking for funding are finding it harder because there's less people to go to for that funding as well.
Because they're no longer here.
Because they're no longer here. And now they don't want to be...
And why would they invest from over there in something over here when they've chosen to leave?
100%.
Makes no sense.
And then the tax implications of that as well.
Very true.
Doesn't make sense.
Very true.
Like a lot of people, my business partner on the energy side, he just came back from Qatar and Saudi. They're not even thinking about investing here. There's no love for it anymore. There's properties that we had on the market for, 5 years ago, would have been snapped up within 6 months. Now it's been on the market for a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years.
Wow.
People are just not investing in London anymore. And that's unfortunate, but it's a testament to where it is. And it's not something, it's systemic now. You're not going to see that change for the next decade. And I'm turning 30 this year. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, what's the point of me being here for another 10 years if that's only when things are going to change?
Very true.
Let's find somewhere that actually supports it. Dubai is 0% tax. Labor rates are fantastic. Their produce, their supply chains are great. So there's so many wins there.
But is it not getting saturated then?
If you're the best at anything you do, you're not really in a saturated market.
No, I get that. I get that. I'll take my hat off. Mate. You know what? Cheers for that.
But honestly, that's how I look at it, man. I think every industry is saturated now. You just got to be a sole mover or a standouter. And if you are, then I think you'll be able to.
So what you saying is Dubai the end game for you?
Potentially. I know a lot of people out there as well. Look, there's a lot of money there and there's a lot of disposable money there.
Very true.
People can afford their lives and then go out, like hospitality, especially our level, we're fat and casual. People come in here, spend 50, 60, 70 plus quid a head. So then we're not like a cheap grab and go. And but we are providing really good value for that. But then people at that price point will be like, oh, maybe I can do it once a month or once a quarter or whatever it is now.
Over here, right?
But there, every day.
Yeah.
Every day. It's 50 quid, they'll make it back. They're not paying any taxes. They're good to go, you know? So there are places where you can make money, keep money, and spend money. London's where you spend your money, not make your money. Unfortunately, I think now anyway. So it's just about stacking and I'm finding another move.
Very true.
Yeah, man.
Well, so London's about spending the money, not making the money.
Anywhere you go London now, you can't believe how ridiculous the money is. You go anywhere, you go to Mayfair for a dinner, £150 plus a head.
Yeah, facts.
Facts. You get a couple cocktails on top, you're on a nice little date, you're paying a mortgage for the dinner.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
So it's not worth it. But that's what I mean, London's just, but I don't blame London as well. London as a whole is just expensive. Businesses aren't just making crazy profit either. They're just covering their costs.
They're covering their costs, but they have to, but the crazy thing is you have to be in London.
You have to.
So because the businesses have to be there, it's like, if it's an international company, they're almost looking at it as a cost of doing business. So we've got London, we've got an office in London or a restaurant in London, whatever. Okay, we're making the money on the restaurant in Dubai. So let's just keep that one going. So we've got to fulfill.
100%. And Dubai will cover the cost. But this is the thing though, London is still, by and large, it's just the hub. The image of London, like if I open 5 restaurants here and I go to Dubai, no brainer, it will just go off. Because if you have 5 restaurants in London, people over there are thinking, damn, this is a London brand. And having a London brand is still...
Internationally, it still holds weight. It still carries weight.
So priceless.
It does.
You know? Even if you go to America and say, I've got 5 restaurants in London.
I think anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world
you go to, if you go a London brand, it
comes with London.
It comes with London,
yeah. London's sharp.
Everybody wants, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Maybe because they know London's the hardest place to set it up, but it's also just that, conventionally, London is the place. It has everything. I mean, I remember when summers used to be just Saudi and Middle Eastern cars just zipping up and down Knightsbridge, you know, all foreign number plates and everything. You don't see that too often nowadays, you know, but that's what London needs to become. London could be great. You know, it could be. Look at the weather now. This kind of weather, with better tax laws, this country will be on top of the world.
You think that's a possibility? Because I'm thinking that's probably the only option.
I would love it to be
in the near future.
Yeah, I would love it to be an option, but the problem is we've got, and I don't really talk politics because they're two wings on the same bird, but you need to have a certain belief system in play for it to happen. And the problem is we've spent so much money and we're in so much debt right now. Mainly because of our own problems, you know. During COVID, for example, a massive outflow of cash on PPE, on testing, on this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not, again, going to go into conspiracy theories, but a lot of money went to the abyss.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I know what you're saying. The right people got contracts.
Right people got the right money.
Right contracts and things never got fulfilled.
Exactly.
And something wasn't needed, warehouses stuff left. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So a lot of money left, and we're paying that back now, you know, and how long do you have to pay that back for? Like, do I want to be the generation that were known to be paying back all of this debt? Not really. See you later. You guys pay it back. I'll see you another time, you know, kind of vibe. But look, I love this country. It's given me a lot of information and a lot of experience, and appreciate it for everything, but you know, when you see money moving somewhere, as an entrepreneur, you have to follow the money. You have to follow the money.
Follow the money, yeah.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah, at the end of the day, family moved over here to follow the money.
100%.
The money's not here anymore. What do they expect?
Yeah. We're not here to, you know, ideally, I'm not here to just do buy, you know, it's got to be something better and then push on. But yeah, I think that's where a lot of people I speak to are in that same boat. You know, a lot of my mentors as well, they're just like, mate, move, go.
Yeah.
Go, stack your money, and then maybe London will be all right when you're back at 40,
45. But the plan is right, though. 5 here, gone there. Is that you're going to execute 5 and then?
Maybe, do you know what? It's a good question. The option is on the tables, right? So I need to find locations. But right now, is the disposable income there? That's the question. Are we in a place where, even if I go into London where people say the footfall's amazing, the rent is $750,000.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
You know? And then the labour on top of that is another $500,000, $750,000.
Is there enough custom there to fulfill that? Yeah.
And the amount of restaurants and pubs and bars I see closing down suggests different. You know, even though it's a saturated industry, you still see it, all of them close down. The only ones that really survive now are your chains, because since COVID, American private equity has spent nearly $200 billion buying up independent high street stores and shop fronts, and then just putting Nando's or a Wagamama's or a Five Guys in there.
What do you mean by actually purchasing?
They purchase the lease for the properties,
yeah.
and then they put their well-known chain in there.
Yeah. That's how we got a lot of American chains over here, right?
Correct.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Exactly, because it's all American PE money. They put it in. They just want to increase their revenue. They know what they're doing. They just want to sell out the whole thing in 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
So they're just putting it all in. They've got PE money behind them, so they can run at break-even, slight losses. But when you've got a portfolio of 15, 20, 50 running like that, then you've got, it's like what they did with the house prices in America. They just put together a whole load of shit and then priced it better and then called it. So that's the problem we see as well. They're just putting it together. So London's it's a tough scene right now. So let's see. It's either that, or I might look to work alongside brands that are, you know, around worldwide already, learn what I can there, and then set up maybe somewhere else as well. Yeah. The world's our oyster. Yeah, and now it's just about figuring it out, taking it on, man.
But thanks for sitting down
man,
in between what you're doing.
Yeah, always.
We'll sit down again at some point. You know, we're going to be here regularly, so we'll see what we can sit down and put together.
100%, bro.
You know what I mean?
That's fun. Yeah? I enjoy it.
Where do you see the finished product?
Yeah, I want to see it, man.
Yeah, we'll put it together. Yeah.
I think it's going to be lit.
My brother.
Appreciate it.
Very nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Very nice
too,
meeting you.
bro,
I'm not joking.
Yeah, no, banging.
Sweet. Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.